I almost destroyed a man's life because I thought I was saving a kid. When I became a teacher, I promised to protect and be there for all my students. It wasn't just a feel-good statement either. That promise came from something real. My little sister Danielle had bruises no one noticed, or maybe we did, but didn't want to admit what they meant. When she told me the truth, it was too late to protect her the way I should have. So now, when I see signs, I don't hesitate. That's why Marcus caught my eye. He was sharp, always first to finish essays, but quiet, never raised his hand. The kind of kid who only spoke when he had something important to say. His eyes stayed low and his sleeves stayed long, even when it was hot. I thought maybe he was just shy, until I read his journal. It was an assignment. Write about a place you feel safe. He wrote that no such place existed. That night, I barely slept. The next day, I noticed the bruises. Not old ones either. Fresh, deep purple across his forearm like someone had grabbed him hard. I called him in during lunch. I was gentle. I didn't press. I asked if everything was okay at home. He gave me a half smile and said, yeah, everything was fine. But I knew that smile. I'd seen it on Danielle when she still thought protecting him meant lying for him. So I started writing things down. Dates, details, anything off. I talked to other teachers. One said Marcus flinched when a door slammed. Another said he never turned in work late, even when he was clearly sick. And then there was his dad, Richard, clean cut, wore a suit to parent-teacher night, ran a local charity. Everyone liked him, but that smile of his felt like it was glued on too tight. When I asked Marcus about him, he tensed up and changed the subject. I knew I was crossing lines, but I gave Marcus my number, told him it was only for emergencies. He nodded and tucked it in his shoe. 2 weeks later, I got a text. Can I stay at school late? I asked if he was okay. He said no, not really. That was it. From there it snowballed. He told me about yelling, doors being slammed, broken glass. Never flat out said he was hit, but he didn't need to. He showed me new bruises. I took photos. Vanessa, my best friend, told me I was getting too close. My principal told me to keep it professional. I stopped listening to both. I called CPS. They opened an investigation. Marcus was moved into temporary foster care. I cried the night I found out. I felt like I'd done something right for once. I sat with him before the social worker picked him up. He smiled, a real one this time, said thank you. I started prepping to testify. I read every page of the policy manual, wrote timelines, collected every photo. I was ready to defend him with everything I had. Then came Tyler. He was Marcus's friend. Said something off during a counselor interview. Slipped up and said Marcus had planned it all. I laughed at first. Thought he was just confused. But the more he talked, the clearer it became. Marcus made it up. The bruises were real, yeah, but self-inflicted. The journal entries? Fiction. He'd overheard rumors about my sister and used them. Said if he could get away from his dad, he could be with his girlfriend. Richard had forbidden them from seeing each other. That was the whole motive. I sat in my car that night, shaking, and not crying, just still. I'd ruined a man's reputation, put a kid in foster care, and all because I saw what I wanted to see. Marcus went back home. Richard didn't yell. He didn't threaten. He looked at me like I was nothing, and honestly, I felt like I was. They put me on professional probation. I didn't get fired, but it was close. I started therapy. I stopped looking at my students like puzzles to solve. I hated that it took something so awful to teach me boundaries. 6 months later, I got a letter. It was from Marcus. He said he was in counseling, said he was sorry, said he didn't know how to stop once it started. It didn't make it better, but it helped. I still teach, still care, but now I pause before acting. I still want to protect them. I just don't do it alone anymore.